Welcome to the KPC Smart Money Podcast. We're glad to join you again. I know we had a break there for a couple of weeks, and today we're going to talk about how to weather a recession because recession seems to be on everybody's mind these days. Are you worried about a major recession? Think the markets are about to come to a standstill any day now? Well, yes is the answer from most folks these days. Same with small business owners. And lots of so-called economic professionals and talking heads on the news seem to agree. Still, no one really knows when the next recession will happen or how severe it's going to be, but we know it's going to because markets and economies are cyclical. Worrying about it isn't helpful or good for us either.
No, it is not. But just consider this. People want to, get political with it, and they want to think about geopolitical things, and they want to, all this stuff, right? But the truth is, economics 101, there's an economic cycle like you just mentioned. There's the peak. Think about a clock. 12 o'clock, high noon, right, is the peak. And then you're moving towards recession, right? That's the 3 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock is the trough. That's the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. So where are we now? Are we at the bottom yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now, and then is a recovery. That would be 9 o'clock. Think about that clock again. And then back to the peak. Now, not only are some people out there, a lot of our clients too, are a little worried about what's going on in our world and in the economy and whatnot, but Warren Buffett, I was just listening to, I think it was a podcast or some interview, or anyway, he said, the party is over. They've got more money in cash. Him and his partner, Charlie Munger, have more money in cash than they've had for a really, really long time because the bull market, it was raging for 10, 11 years without very many downswings. And so he says the party is over. It's got a lot of money in cash. So we're going to talk about weathering a recession. In fact, whether we're in a recession today, tomorrow, or whenever, it's going to be more challenging to make money moves when your judgment's clouded by anxiety. So anxiety and worrying does not help. So how can you cope? What can we do to set our recession fears aside, make confident decisions, and weather the slowdowns better?
Well, in today's podcast, we're going to go through 6 steps for braving recessions with a cool head, calm nerves, and clarity. And so here's tip number 1. Don't buy into the headlines. Limit your news intake. Folks, headlines are designed to scare you and attract as many eyeballs as possible. Clickbait can be toxic for anyone who takes in too much. So stick to just one or few news sources you trust. Limit the time you spend checking the headlines. Also, do not take the news as gospel, especially when making significant financial decisions.
Yeah, that's a good point. The clickbait. The clickbait is, it makes you, its aim is to shock you. So you'll open it up and read all of the advertisements.
Yeah, the news does not care if you have to take anxiety meds. They don't care.
No,
in fact, it's probably good for them if they can cause that. They don't care. They're about making money, and half the time they're not even there to tell you the truth anymore.
Yeah.
So turn it off. Or limit it.
So number 1 is don't buy into the headlines, right, Carrie? Number 2 is resist impulsive actions. Here's your strategy. Think twice or more than twice before making bigger money moves. Panic can snowball, especially when it feels like the bottom is falling out. Resist the urge to act immediately because it could potentially lead to more mistakes, not sounder financial decisions. Put it in action. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it now really the right time to make the move? Give yourself time, like days or weeks, to consider significant decisions carefully and think how they'll affect you now and in the long term.
Yeah, and, so here's another tip. Run a worst case scenario. All right? Think about your biggest recession fears and what is the worst case scenario. What would that look like to you? Then calmly troubleshoot it. Ask yourself, worst case, what could I lose in this or in the next recession? What would I do if that happened? Running worst case scenarios can help you see possible solutions. And maybe, hey, there could even be some silver linings that can help put some of your bigger fears about a recession in a new light. It may even show you that your fears really aren't as bad as you have built them up to be.
Yep. So strategy number 4 is do a temperature check. Now may be the time to make some shifts or take a new approach, and you won't know that if you just keep things on autopilot. Carefully consider your risk tolerance, your investments, and how diversified your portfolio is. A lot of that has to do with your age too. If you're getting close to retirement age, I mean, you want to really look and see what your risk is in your portfolio. While you may want to make some changes now, it can also be smart to check in on your finances more frequently as markets shift. That'll keep your finger on the pulse of things so you can keep your expectations and reactions in check.
Yeah, and you do want to do more reviews, especially in a volatile market, but you don't want to make knee-jerk decisions.
Yep.
Yeah. And here's a good one. Make some time to relax. Okay? I get it. The world is crazy. The pace is crazy. There's so much coming at you between family and jobs and news and economy, but you have got to carve out time in your schedule to do activities that help you relax. Make that relaxation time part of your daily or weekly routine. Even if it can't be on the same day, even every week or maybe not even the same time, but think ahead. What is it that can just cause you to stop thinking about problems, stop thinking about your to-do list? Is it reading? Is it music? Is it going for a walk? Some people find, working out is great. Maybe you just have your favorite TV show. Just don't let it be stressful, okay? So another thing you can do is simply breathing exercises. And it doesn't have to be a long time, 10, 20 minutes a day. Of course, you could do anything you enjoy that gives you the space to unwind and relax. Again, exercising, reading, cooking, crafting, hobbies, music, whatever you do, taking the time to relax can calm down your brain and it'll clear your head. When that happens, this actually helps you think more clearly, even when you start to feel any kind of recession anxiety set in.
You know what I just thought about? You talk about relaxing and hobbies and all that. And most of all the clients know, and I know you know, that I like to play golf. But a lot of people we see nowadays are playing golf. They're in between shots. They're on their phone. They're checking their emails. They're checking their Facebook. They're checking. We went on a golf trip last weekend, and one of the rounds I just left my phone in the room. And it was so relaxing and freeing. All those things that they do to you with the tones, the emails, when your emails go off,
ding,
and
ding,
Facebook.
right.
That is by design, people.
Uh-huh.
That is to get your, I don't know if it's your endorphins or what it is, but that's to get you going so you'll click and you'll look at the ads and all that. Put your freaking phone away for a while, right? Someone was telling me this weekend that they when their family comes over, their kids, their grandkids, that one was 11 and one was 13, and grandma made the grandkids, give them their phone. And you know what they said?
They were having panic attacks?
Yeah, they said, we're not coming here anymore if you're going to take our phone away. That's not good.
No.
Put your phone down for a while. So, but whatever you do, take time to relax and calm your brain, clear your head. So the last thing is expand your outlook. What does that mean? Extend your perspective and start looking out past the next year or two. Opening up your outlook to the long term can help put your current market conditions in context. Ask yourself, will I still have these recession worries 10 to 15 years from now? Remember that recessions are part of healthy market cycles and that over the long term, Market gains have historically outperformed their losses. Since 1926, the S&P 500 has risen about 72% of the time year over year. So play the long game and keep an eye on the horizon as well as on the next step ahead.
Yeah, and again, when the news is coming at you fast and furious and it never seems to be any good news and you're looking, you go to the store and you realize, geez, eggs are 3 times, 4 times more expensive. I'm trying to fill up my car and it's more expensive. Don't give in to that recession anxiety because it could potentially cost you, and not just financially, but also psychologically. All right, you can beat it. Take some of our strategies and again, take a deep breath. The recession will not last. It will go away. And when you take the time, a little bit of extra time for yourself, you'll be surprised at the creative things that you'll be able to think through. So we've enjoyed doing this podcast. Thanks for joining us. Get rid of anxiety. Stay calm until next week. This is Kevin and Karen Christ.
You've been listening to the KPC Smart Money Podcast with Kevin and Karen Christ. To listen to more episodes, visit kpcsmartmoney.com. You can also find the KPC Smart Money Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher.
KPC Financial Solutions is an independent financial services firm that utilizes a variety of investment and insurance products. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through KPC Financial Solutions, LLC, a registered investment company. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any reference to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. KPC Financial Solutions is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by KPC Financial Solutions. Hypothetical examples have been provided for illustrative purposes only. It does not represent a real-life scenario and should not be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation.